Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask Cheeky. I'm Isaiah Hankel with Cheeky Scientist, and this week's question comes from Hailey Ann. What is the best strategy for networking if you want to work abroad? So we get questions like this quite a bit, not just from people who want to work abroad, but even from people who want to work in different cities. Let's say you want to work across the country or in a different country or abroad, right? How do you network when you can't meet these people in person? And the first thing to keep in mind is that you need to find ways to increase your visibility, and you have to stay in contact even more. Okay, so increase your visibility, stay in contact even more because you're not going to get a chance to meet these people. You have to build trust through consistency, through increased visibility. So how do you go about doing this? Well, if you're looking for a job abroad, first and foremost, you have to start networking online, right? You got to get your LinkedIn profile up to date. And we have a lot of articles on this. If you go to cheekyscientist.com/blog, you can find one on LinkedIn and how to increase your profile. We've done podcasts on this as well. So to increase the visibility of your profile, to make it more professional, to make it look like, to show off your industry credibility. So do that first, right? Because you're going to be doing networking online to get a job abroad because you can't meet these people in person. Right. So and then once you have your LinkedIn profile ready, you can start reaching out to people to get introductions. Right. So you need to meet people. You need to get introduced. Again, you're starting in a more difficult position because you haven't been able to meet anybody in person. So you have to find those people who you have met in person on LinkedIn. Look at your secondary, your tertiary connections, and ask to be introduced. Right. So instead of cold contacting people at that company or abroad, first try to get introduced through people you already know. All right. If you have to cold contact them, that's fine. You can reach out online to build up your online network and to reach out to people for the first time. But first, go into your current secondary and tertiary connections. Ask for introductions to people that are working at the company or who used to work at the company. And how do you find these people? Well, first, you can go onto LinkedIn and you can type in the company's name. Right. Just search the company and it'll show you people who work at that company. It'll give you statistics about that company. It'll show you who you might already be connected with that's connected with somebody else at that company. Okay, so again, get introductions. You need to build trust. You need to build it fast because you're not going to be able to meet these people in person. Second, start setting up informational interviews. So once you get introduced, you want to move from talking online through messages to talking on the phone as quickly as possible. You're not going to be able to talk to them in person, so again, you got to get on the phone with them instead. All right, so move from sending a couple of messages. Let's say you got an introduction to somebody who works at the company you want to work with. Ask to set up a quick phone call with them, a 5-minute informational interview. Be very polite. Have a couple of questions ready. Ask them about their experience at that company. Build rapport, build that relationship. Reduce that activation energy of asking for a referral. Right. So after the informational interview, you can follow up a couple times and ask to be referred to whoever the hiring manager is for the position you want to get into. Okay, so again, you have to increase visibility, increase trust much more quickly, and you have to do all of this online or over the phone versus in person if you want to work abroad or somewhere where you can't be physically. And then finally, once you set up the informational interview, you have to follow up. We talked about that. So you have to follow up more consistently because, again, consistency builds trust, but you also need to make yourself more visible to the person. So by following up online, right, on LinkedIn, email, by phone, change it up. This will help you build that relationship, build trust, so that you can get hired into a position where you may not be able to go for an on-site interview. A lot of companies, if they're going to hire you for a top-level position like PhDs get hired into, they may fly you in for an interview, or they might do a video interview. So that would be the last point, is just prepare yourself for a possible video interview. We have resources for this on our website too. We've written articles about how to prepare for this, whether it's a Skype interview or some other platform. But be prepared for that and try to move yourself to that position of getting on the phone or having a video conversation with someone. Again, increase visibility, increase trust. This will help you get hired abroad. So until next time, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.